name is Huey Jackson and I'm a comm activist.
My name is Malcolm Freefon and I'm a comm activist.
My name is Marjorie Subversa. I am a comm activist.
Comm Action is the loose and decentralized network of activists fighting for total animal liberation.
The mandate of the Canadian Animal Liberation Movement is to fight for total animal liberation, which is the end of all oppression, exploitation, and victimization of animals, including humans.
After becoming aware of how animals were treated, I wanted to do anything that I could to stop the exploitation and oppression of animals. When I was at an event for an animal rights group, somebody passed me the Comm Action card, and I went onto the website and realized that this was a group or something that I needed to be a part of.
I grew up in a ghetto and I was feeling oppressed, I was victimized, my family was victimized, my father was victimized. So as I grew up and I came across the notion of animal liberation, it just made sense because I could relate to that. I saw animals just the way I lived. I was oppressed, I was caged, and everything that I could do was limited by the state. So the same thing happens to the animals, and they're oppressed, they're victimized.
I grew up in an upper middle class family, having to work part-time jobs and go to high school. One day, I realized that what I ate directly contributed to the pain and suffering of animals in Canada, and so I decided to get active. And then one day I saw a Comm Action poster while I was walking through town and went to the website, read the guidelines, and they fit my understanding of animal liberation, and I wanted to get active.
The Comm Action guidelines are the principles that activists need to abide by to do actions under the name or in support of the Canadian Animal Liberation Movement.
The first one is that an action must fight for total animal liberation.
2, the action cannot perpetuate the oppression or exclusion of any group, i.e. sexism, racism, consumerism, classism, or capitalism.
And the third principle or guideline is that activists have the autonomy to make decentralized decisions.
Because cells work independently from one another and have the autonomy to make their own decisions, I can only speak about what I've heard of other cells doing. We've heard about actions happening in Kitchener and Waterloo, Toronto, Oshawa, Kingston, North Bay, as well as in Guelph.
We're going to go out and educate people, and we're going to tell people that they have the power to make change in their communities. So we'll go out, we'll do workshops, we'll put up posters, we'll do online activism so that people become aware and so that people are empowered to make change in their communities. We will give them the tools so that they can make actual change, so they can change their own destinies and the destiny of the people around them.
Comm Action is unique in that it focuses a lot of energy trying to equip new young activists with the skills they need to become revolutionaries.
I came in contact with different injustices in our society. Soon we had to leave our country because my dad was in danger. So we spent a year in a refugee camp, and during that time I had the time to study about revolutionary ideas, more importantly anarchism and Marxist theories. Remember that all oppressions are related. The same people who have set up this system that exploits women, that exploits people of color, that exploits children in other countries merely for a profit. They're the same people who exploit animals, murder them by billions.
Comm Action will act in solidarity with other movements whenever possible. Every month we have several solidarity actions with movements like the Women's Liberation Movement or the Environmental Movement.
Today we're going to be doing critical mass. Critical mass has a whole bunch of different reasons behind it. One is to gain control again of the streets. The streets have been taken over by vehicles. The streets have been taken over by those gas-guzzling machines that we see people driving every day. And because the streets are controlled by the vehicles, bikers get killed all the time. Biker got killed just this Wednesday in Cambridge as he was crossing a bridge. So this is a tool of awareness that we share the streets, that bikers can also be on the streets. It's also, for some people, about anti-capitalism. It's about deciding that you're not going to contribute to the automobile industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is destroying our environment, and that you're going to choose the transportation of the revolution, which is on two wheels. have worked with the animals in a research facility. I worked with live animals for 2 years. I have seen those animals panic as you hold them in your hands. I have seen them try restlessly to try and get away from their captors. I have seen them pace in their cages as they go through the boredom of being in captivity day in and day out. It is a malicious, vicious thing that we do to animals by keeping them in cages 24 hours a day.
I've had people call me terrorist just because I'm vegetarian or vegan. I've had several people, always men, call me gay for not eating animal products and feeling like animals shouldn't be caged, including my grandfather. And I've had people just jump to a lot of ridiculous conclusions. The fact that just because the fact that I don't eat animals.
People keep saying that we should do actions that are only within the bounds of the legal system. But what about putting up a poster in the street? The fact is, putting up a poster in the street so you can tell your community around you what is happening to them, to the people, is illegal. We are not allowed to put up posters. We have all these specifications about how a poster can even get put up in our communities.
Calm Action believes that eating animals is not a personal choice, in the same way that no one should have the choice to abuse a child, sexually assault a woman, or own a slave. This perception of choice is a perception that those with power hold because they're able to enforce their will on someone who is weaker and unable to defend themselves or have their voice be heard. If animals had a voice, they would never choose to be caged. They would never choose to be slaughtered or abused just to fulfill the taste buds of some human with power.
If there's a fight, if there's need for me to be there, I'll be there. I'll fight.
I see myself fighting for animal liberation as long as I'm able to and as long as I'm needed to, in the same way that if Gandhi or Malcolm X were still alive, they would be fighting for the liberation of all.
This is a new movement. This isn't a movement about lobbying. This isn't a movement that's going to rely on the courts, the judges, the politicians to do our work for us. This is a movement where the people are going to rise up and demand true justice.